Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 29, 2024. And in the news this evening, St. Andrews South Police lists several wanted men and persons of interest. The St. Andrews South Police have released its list of most wanted persons and the names of persons being sought for questioning in connection with serious crimes. Among those listed as wanted is Jesse McLaurin, who is roughly 19 years old from Olympic Way. The police say he frequents the Red Hills area and is wanted for shooting and wounding with intent. 6 men from the Waterhouse community, including 43-year-old Andrew Powell, otherwise called the Killer or Bounty, from Larger Road, Kingston 11, and the 24-year-old Rashid Thomas, also known as Kobe, from Trinidad Road, Kingston 11, are also wanted for murder. Mr. Powell frequents Barbados and the Trinidad roads, while Mr. Thomas frequents a Capture and the Waterhouse. Added to that are Oshin Cephas, otherwise called IT, 21-year-old Dwight Glasses Miller, both from South Anderson Crescent, Kingston 13, as well as a man known only as Heat, Teddy Boy or Herbal. They are also wanted for shooting and frequent the Top Low Rides Painland area. A person who goes by Oliver and frequents Bottom Delacree Lane is also listed. Also wanted for murder is 31-year-old Anthony Reynolds, also known as the Son, from Marlborough Avenue in New Haven, and the 34-year-old Eddie Francis from both Thailand. Listed among the persons of interest is the Blacks of Hunter Lane Bay in Olympic Gardens, as well as a Toby Boy of Pine Road in the community. They are being sought for a shooting incident on Pine Road on March 20. In similar company from Cockburn Pen are 35-year-old Omar Headley or Popeye, 31-year-old Lafayette Mackey, otherwise called the Pangy and the Patman of Moho Drive, and a man called the Vasquez of a Fincher Crescent address who frequents the Red Hills. The 3 are being sought for murder. 30-year-old Nicola Marvin Reed, also known as Yankee or Nick, of Barton Road, Greater Portmore in St. Catherine, Salem Avenue in Cherry Gardens, and the Moody Ford Road, Kingston 11, is also being sought for murder and shooting. He frequents 77 Lane, St. Andrew. Being sought in connection with a murder from Raphael Avenue and Ramsey Road in Whitfield Town are 39-year-old Marcel Slew, otherwise known as a Zella, 40-year-old Christopher Henlan, known as a Reverend or Rev, who both frequent Maxfield Avenue, as well as Kevin Harvey, also known as Brains. Also listed as persons of interest for murder are 24-year-old Aaron Leslie, otherwise called the Gun School or Bossy, of Delacree Lane, Kareem Mills or Deffy Boy, who frequents Queensboro Drive, New Haven, and Derek Bush Johnson, who frequents 7th Street, Greenwich Town. Newman warns transport operators against hiking fares. President of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, Edgerton Newman, has issued a warning to public passenger vehicle operators not to increase fares. Newman issued the warning following a meeting at the Ministry of Transport on Thursday, March 28, in which members of the steering committee agreed to defer a 16% fare increase until the next financial year. According to Newman, about 8,000 transport operators opted not to take up the first fare increase of 15% announced last October because of complaints from commuters. You would understand that when you got the last fare increase, a greater percentage of our operators, especially those in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region, did not accept the increase because we believe that although it is needed, there was a challenge in collecting the 15% given to us. And it was more so challenged by commuters that they could not afford the increase. Most of us opted not to take the increase, but to take it in one tranche this time around, said Newman. I want to make it very clear as a president of TODS, I'm calling on transport operators, especially those in the Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region, not to go ahead and increase any fares. I am going to be very serious about that. If you did not take it, you can't take it because we did not take it at first. We can't take it now, added Newman. Newman told the news that operators were not surprised by the ask of Finance Minister Nigel Clark and the Transport Minister Darrell Vaz, who had summoned the steering committee just a day after the close of the budget presentations. According to Newman, prior to being summoned to the meeting, it was clear the subject of the discussions. When we listened to the budget presentation by the minister and by the prime minister, we thought that there was nothing there for us, especially the fact that there was some concern between the Bank of Jamaica and the government in terms of announcing a reduction in JUTC fares. From that time, we knew that it was going to be a challenge in getting the second tranche of our increase, so it wasn't a surprise, said Newman. We could have said to the minister before the meeting started, "We know why we are invited here." It was less than 24 hours that we got the invitation, so we knew it was coming, added Newman. Questions raised about some government members using personal social media pages to live stream public events. Questions are being raised about some government ministers using their personal social media pages for live streaming of public events on money-generating platforms. People's National Party chairman for East Central St. Catherine, Raymond Price, asked whether some public forums and town halls are being designed primarily to provide additional income for ministers who engage in the practice. He believes that the public should not make light of the situation, as it raises concern about whether those in power are fully disclosing their assets or whether this was an income stream being monitored by the Integrity Commission.
The most honorable Prime Minister would have advertised on his Instagram page that Jamaicans should see what he has to say to us in his budget presentation by logging on to his YouTube channel. I'm not so sure if that revenue stream is a part of his declaration. And I also think that there's an ethical concern here. We're here just concluding a town hall meeting. And again, Minister Pernell Charles Jr. was streaming live on his personal YouTube channel. Why not just the GIS channel, PBCJ channel? Why not a YouTube channel for PATH or for the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, where if in fact that generates revenue, there is no conflict of interest? I mean, the question can be asked reasonably. Is that being turned over to the state because it's not happening on their personal time? Are these aspects of the modern means of earning money that the Integrity Commission is monitoring? Could that be why there are still these repeated problems? You're never going to see President Biden giving the State of the Union address and advertising on his personal IG page, a personal YouTube channel, and then to be paid by doing that.
Court orders release of businessman accused of posting partners' intimate photos online. A businessman accused of circulating intimate photos of his partner online was released from police custody after cops failed to charge him within 48 hours. Attorney Matthew Sims made a successful application for his release in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Wednesday. Senior Parish Court Judge Desiree Alain was told that the suspect was taken into custody on Sunday and remained in custody for more than 48 hours. Sims told the court that Section 5(4) of the Bail Act stipulates that his client should be charged or released, as the offense doesn't fall under the first schedule of the Act. He submitted that his client was suffering emotionally and financially in custody while the police failed to act decisively. The judge ordered the businessman's release following consultation with the clerk of court. The court was told that the businessman had circulated intimate photographs of his partner online. A report was made to the police in St. Catherine, and he was arrested on suspicion of malicious communication, which is a breach of the Cybercrimes Act.